This is part two and or continuation of my first rant that I made on my channel, and this is just a couple things I forgot and or forgot to mention in the other video, and a few things I want to clarify about the video. Part one, I forgot to mention on how they destroyed Goku's character. He was a bit kind of idealistic and a bit naive, but he still had common sense and some amount of character. The new one's just a fucking retard with little to no character. It really disgusts me to see how people praise this fucking trash, even though it goes against both of the main characters of the show, have their character traits and personality traits almost entirely, or a lot of the traits they have changed or altered in a way they can continue the story with. And Piccolo, Piccolo's a whole case. He's consistent with his character from Z. Yes, but the issue is his character from Z is already done. And that's what they did at the main characters. Their character arcs were already done. And Goku has already matured and kind of did his character arc. So they have to turn Goku into a retard because, I don't know, they guess they have to do what they got to do. And they turn Vegeta into a fucking pricky old ass man. Because why not? And they took away all the character development he had. Because they don't like consistency in writing. Good character writing at that. And I also forgot to mention Jiren. Just Jiren alone. And I also forgot to mention about like the Jiren point. He's literally so fucking bland. It is hilarious. I forgot to mention that because I didn't really care. I think I didn't care or something. I don't really know, but I forgot to mention it. So fucking bland though. Blandest ass fucking character. Oh yeah, and then they they didn't have enough with copy and paste characters in the Universe 6 saga with Frost. They had enough. They're like, you know what, we copied Frieza, put him into a new universe. And so, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna copy Broly from the movies and put him into the show. And people are like, it's so good, such good character writing. No, you just copied Broly, gave Broly tits and said, this is the character. We gave Broly tits. Do you like it? It's like, no, it's just Broly with tits. But really, people just praise this. It's like, no, it's Broly with fucking tits. Wow, you did such a good job character in there. What else? What else was it I wanted to rant about? Oh yeah, my whole rant on the concept of universes is, when I think of a universe, it's more or less an alternate timeline or a different kind of reality of sorts. You either go with the timeline approach or the reality approach. They went with the reality approach, meaning it's an entirely different reality. But it seems like it's just a fucking clone reality. Each one of these universes has the same races, they have the same kind of work, they have the same kind of physics. There's no reason for them to be separate universes. It has no reason to be. And that's the issue I had with it, and that's what I was trying to kind of explain in my first video. There's no point of having them being individual universes because there's so much alike to begin with. Another example of my issues with it. Oh yeah, there's a Zarbardo guy. He's a Tuffle. They have to reuse races from Dragon Ball Z. Because they can't make anything new for the new universes. No, they just have to reuse everything from Dragon Ball Z. Because they're not unique and they have to reuse every fucking concept they can. And they reuse these concepts without thinking of the context of what made those concepts good. The Tuffles were a race slaughtered by the Saiyans. And each one of the villains that they made, it was trying to question the morality of what they were doing. For example, Baby's the best villain in Dragon Ball because of this. But that's another topic for another video. Baby was this, again, Baby from this Tuffle race that got slaughtered and killed by the Saiyans. And he came to Earth to get revenge on the Saiyans for killing his entire race and slaughtering them. And it posed the question, though, was he right? Because it added a questionable stake of morality that none of the other villains have. Most of the other Dragon Ball villains are just like, I'm big bad evil guy. Well, this one had some motivation and character to do what he did. In fact, I would say he's right with the context given. But back on topic, they took the Tuffles, a kind of a race meant to be a villain or antithesis to the Saiyans because of their history, and they just made him a bland-ass character. Because, you know what, they have to devalue anything in Dragon Ball Z because they got no unique thoughts or anything to add to the series. But another thing is, they have Khalifa, and she just like has the tingly back shit, which is fucking retarded. I don't need to go into that. And another thing is that it was Elder Kai. Elder Kai said, "Oh yeah, someone around Boo's level sealed me." He didn't say it was Boo. He said someone around Boo's level. So multi-galaxy to low-end universal, right? That's kind of where these people scale him generally. And then it's Beerus, apparently, but it's not because they retconned it to be that, and it doesn't make any sense as Beerus is in no way comparable to Boo. And it's shown in the first BOG movie, it's shown in the show. So it makes no sense for that statement he said to be wrong. Why would he lie about that? And you know what that just shows? That just shows they don't care for continuity. They can't add it. They didn't need to make Beerus that character. They just chose to for whatever reason, so they can have some connective tissue. Even though that connective tissue doesn't make any fucking sense within the context of what was said. And just another thing, what kind of pisses me off about Dragon Ball Super is the fact that Minus is canon. I'm gonna get into this too, because why the fuck not? It's my channel. Dragon Ball Minus is such a horrible fucking piece of trash. Bardock's character was built off redemption and the fact he was a low-class warrior. The fact he was a nobody trying to stand up for all the other high class and low class. It was that fact that made his story good. Not even just that fact. It was also the fact it was one of redemption. It was one of not really a good guy. It was just a bad guy doing good things for selfish reasons. But at the end of the day, it was a good story because of what it was. Because of what it was and because of what it stood for. Episode of Bardock was kind of but we'll talk about Minus, so it doesn't really fucking matter. I'm going to say episode of Bardock was better than Minus because it stuck to what the character stood for a lot more. Minus just said, hey, you know what this character stood for? They just threw his entire character arc, an entire character out the window for this fucking sappy-ass piece of shit that is literally just Superman. Goku is literally turning into Superman over time. People were making that joke before, but now he's literally just Superman. You know, they had the fact that Goku is immortal. Superman, but Superman's an alien. They pretty much play Superman up as a fucking god in everything he's in. So they had that as an argument that he was immortal, but now they don't. And then they had the argument is, his parents didn't send him Earth. Now they have, he's pretty much Superman now. Because it's just so fucking horrible. I can't stand it. And also just another thing is the redesign for King Vegeta. I know people aren't gonna like it, but it looks fucking shitty as fuck. I like the older design because it looked a lot more different. It had a lot more different from the normal Vegeta, and his character there was a lot more, I guess, better. It wasn't much of a character because he didn't appear much, but he was simply just what was it? He was simply just an obstacle and kind of for Frieza, and not even just an obstacle, just a showcase of Frieza's power. It was a showcase of Frieza's rule and tyranny. That's what it was, a showcase of. See, this is what you don't have with these villains nowadays. You don't have this emotional stake. These emotional stakes that you did. You don't have these connections. You don't have these showcases of power or showcases of anything really to really back them up as a villain or as a powerful character. Oh man, Jiren passes the guards and shakes a realm of infinite power. But there's no emotional reason to care about that. Or no in canon reason to care about that. He has no connection to our heroes. He has no connection to nobody. And you're saying, oh, but you don't want these universes to have connections. I don't. That's why I want a story set in the main universe, which adds to the context. Molo kind of added to the context of the Grand Supreme Kai and why he's so fucking weak. And that explained why the Kais are weak. But then again, that adds a plot hole with the universe survival arc. Because the universe survival arc, all the Kais are portrayed as weaklings. So, it brings up the question, though, why they all weak then, except him. And also, another question. Why are all the Supreme Kais there and not the Grand Supreme Kais? Makes no sense. And another thing is, why do they have all these fucking background characters? Why don't they just, like, in the universe survival arc? Like I said in my previous video, the Otherworld fighters are probably more memorable than the, newer fighters. Because a lot of them just blatant clones of other shit. In the, what's it called? Oh yeah, a lot of them are just blatant clones of things in Z, the universe survival arc. But, you could say, oh yeah, but Pycon's a clone. Pycon's not a clone. Pycon's an individual character. I haven't watched it in a while, like I said in my previous video, but Pycon's an individual character. He looks like a Namekian. Has a few personality traits similar to Piccolo, but yeah. He's not Piccolo, and he, looks different, and he has different characterization than Piccolo. But like I said, these characters are straight clones, and yet people are saying that it's good writing and good showcases of character. It's like it's not. It's really not though. I played GT, at least the baby saga of it, because it it tied back to the origins, and it did things that I consider good. Like, it added stakes and questionable morality. They never do that with anything in Super. They never add advanced lighting or anything that would be considered particularly interesting to my sense of writing, I guess. And name a supervillain that connects to anyone besides, like, an individual supervillain besides Moa. Moa doesn't really connect to the Grand Supreme Kai and explains why he was so fucking weak. But besides that, it doesn't connect to any of the main heroes, and it doesn't have much stakes. Even Boo had exclamation why he was so fucking powerful. Like I said, he killed one of the gods and whatnot. And people like to come at me and say, when people try to diss Z to empower Super, try to put high on the hierarchy of what anime they think are the best. They try to say, oh yeah, but Frieza stated he was the strongest and Boo's stronger. And within the canon of Z, we're not saying Super counts because Super wasn't written by Toriyama. Within the canon of Z, Frieza has no knowledge of Boo. So from his knowledge, he is the strongest. Boo was sealed away for like a couple fucking billion years. He has no knowledge of Boo. No knowledge. So from his perception, he is the strongest, and it is not denied, and it is not wrong from his knowledge. And Broly, like I said in my previous video, is just a reclone of the original Broly with several different elements added. It's the same fucking character, yet people say, yay, it's really good. Gogeta, same character he was in that one. Just add a blue hair dye onto it. Yay, I'm so happy. Oh, he has blue hair now. Really fucking great. Holy fuck, great, he got blue hair now. He's a Super Saiyan, God 2, Super Saiyan, God Super Saiyan. But he's still just Gogeta, you just had a blue hair dye. He didn't do anything unique or interesting. That's just what it is. He didn't do anything. Good, you just copy and pasted things throughout the show, and you just added them on and said, here. Copy pasted throughout Z. Like, what is unique about the original Gogeta versus this one? Like, the one in Z. I know it's a movie, and it's not canon, but I really don't fucking give a shit about canon, as I said before. So what's the difference between the Z one and the Super one? None, besides power. And I don't want them to change the character. I think that is wrong, because I think it should stay consistent to what the character is. Of course, but my issue with this is that it's not good. It's not unique or interesting in the slightest. Why can't you do something new and interesting? Instead of doing fusion, instead of doing this, instead of doing that, just do something new. We making old shit and just saying, here it is, it's new, do you like it? People just say, yay, we really love it. People just throw their hands up and say, oh man, this is the best fucking piece of medium I've ever seen in my life. Even though it's the same shit we've seen 20 fucking times, just shown in different colors. Heroes is fucking trash, and people say, yay. But at least it has the credibility of, oh yeah, it's based off a game, and it's really fanfic because of that. At least it has that as a fucking excuse. That has some leverage to it. And people, oh yeah, I'm just gonna cover, actually I'm not gonna, I'll do this in a separate video, because I have a few video topics planned on the matter, but the people often say, Lord slugs the crown of King Piccolo when they do that. But when they try to just Z, but it's like, yeah, it's just a movie. Yeah, what people try to do is they try to connect the anime and the movies, and try to use the movies as an excuse for what the anime or the manga did wrong, and that's totally fucking wrong for people to do, but they do that. And I just don't get people who like this fucking shitty ass show. It just amazes me how anyone could fucking like it, because it has no individual character. And the character it does have isn't that good, or isn't really enjoyable to watch. You're not getting anything from this. I would totally recommend that no one fucking watches it because of how bad it is. But I'm gonna say to each your own shitty opinion, because you guys are allowed to have your shitty ass opinions if you want to have your shitty ass opinions. And a clarification for something I said in my last video. I said a good Frieza, or an objectively good, not objectively, but a kind of more moral member of the Frieza race would have been interesting. And I kind of played it up as a really, really great fucking concept, but when in reality it wasn't really that good. But it was still something of difference or interest compared to the usual. And that would have just been interesting to see something a bit different. And when I also think Cooler's a good character, and you're gonna say, but Cooler's just Frieza. Yes, but he has the excuse of being his brother. That would explain why he's pretty similar, and he does have different character traits. As shown in the movie, he's more straight to the point. He's more, you could say things about Frost too, but Frost is literally just Frieza in a different universe, while Cooler is a separate character in canon. And another thing is about Cooler, his motivation is tied to Frieza. He has his own separate motivation in his own separate character. He wants to get revenge and surpass his family. That is his goal. Frost is just the same. I want to rule my empire, but I do it in a different way. I'm more sneaky and more vindictive. Wow, you're just a pussy version of Frieza. Wow, really makes me amazed with your writing style. And Chopper's just Beerus. I know he has the excuse of being his brother, which is fair, but it's not that interesting to me. I don't find, like, if you start off, the first two arcs are literally just clones, and then the next arc you have, it's his brother, which is not much different either in character. So, the next arc you have is just another Beerus, pretty much. Then the arc after that, what was the arc after that? Oh god, I can't remember. What's the arc after the fucking Universe 6 arc? Goku Black arc. Then you have the Goku Black arc, which was the best fucking arc of the show. And then they just kind of said, I'm gonna pull the Zeno button and pull shit out of our asses to make characters lose, and then retcon the shit out of certain things like the Patara fusion, and what else was it? Patara fusion, make Trunks' hair blue and make him a bitch, and make Mai his girlfriend for some fucking reason, because why not, I guess. It's fucking weird, considering the fact like he's fucking would be like 60, but whatever. I'm just bitching about the anime. The manga, I think, did a bit better job, but oh man, it's still fucking shitty as fuck. Also, just another thing that people don't like to bring up about the show is that people like to say, "Oh yeah, Toriyama writes it." He doesn't write it. I brought this up in my previous one. He writes a few notes, and Toritaro and Tori respectively make do with the notes, and they change or sometimes edit the notes based off whatever they have in mind. So it's not even a Toriyama work. Even GT, the first half at least, had supervision by and approval by Toriyama himself. The later halves did not, though. But I still think GT is a better story because it added, at least its concepts were unique. Some of them were unique. At least some of them were. At least some of them were unique and interesting to confound upon. While Super is pretty much just copy and paste. Like there's some things that they do that are unique, but they just copy and paste a lot of shit. At least they did something unique. That's just my kind of complaint about it. They did something unique. Shadow Dragons may have not been the best, but at least they were unique. Oh yeah, the concept of Goku Black in and of itself isn't unique. It's been done and seen before. An evil Goku in and of itself is not interesting or much of a concept to clap at. It is very fucking generic and kind of seen and done everywhere. Oh yeah, there's an evil Wink. There's been all these evil versions of other characters. It's not an interesting concept. Same with the Good Fleets. It's not an interesting concept, but it's a change, and it's better than just having a fucking clone. It's been done, been seen, you know? These types of things. Well, they have a character and they just say, its morality's different. And it's like, that's not really interesting. You're just changing the morality, and you're not changing much of the character. Like I said before, Kaba isn't interesting because he doesn't have that connection that he's Vegeta's brother. And Kaba in and of itself is only interesting due to his connection with Vegeta. And he doesn't have the fact that he's his brother. And don't say he's not fucking canon, because I've debated people saying, oh, Tobble's not canon, but by their own definition they say Super's canon, by extension Broly, and Broly has a reference to Tobble in it, making the Tobble special canon. So whatever the fuck you people say is really objectively wrong. So this is Bob74H, the alt-right millennial, signing off.